Hey guys, GrillsFan1992 here. At the time of me making this, the last video that I made on YouTube was on July 1st, 2016. Yeah, 2016. It's been a long time. So, you're probably wondering right now, you're probably not wondering this, but I'm sure some of you are wondering right now, am I dead? Is my channel dead? Well, obviously, number one, no, I'm not dead. But as far as my channel goes, it's kind of in a state of limbo at the moment. See, at the time that I made that last video, YouTube was changing, and it's still changing. Like, there's no denying that YouTube has changed. And depending on who you ask, it's changed for either the better or the worse. And in my opinion, I think a lot of it has changed for the worse, especially for smaller creators like me. And I honestly believe that one of the big reasons why is because of all of the shit that has gone on over the years. Or more specifically over the months, but it's been like maybe 2 years since everything started changing. Like one of the big influences for changes recently, unfortunately, had to have been the Paul brothers. There's no way around this, but the Paul brothers really were a big influence for a lot of YouTube's changes, especially with what happened with Logan Paul. I think what happened was sometime after that happened, like, I don't want to go into saying it because we all know what happened, that thing in Japan, but after that thing happened, YouTube came out with this new policy where if you do not have at least 1,000 subscribers, then you cannot monetize videos. And right now, like my last check with my sub count was like 52 subscribers, and thanks to all of you who've stuck on board even with the inactivity. But even with that small amount, I can no longer make money off of my videos, even if I haven't been making money. But if I really wanted to really push a YouTube career or something, then I would have to grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers, and it would take a long time for that to happen. So thank you, Logan Paul, for that lovely thing you did. But anyway, so what have I been doing? Well, number one, I went back to school again. I went to a tech school for about 5 years and was not able to get a job. But I finally went back to school back in 2017, and I am graduating this weekend with a certificate in video production and editing. So whether or not I'm going to go back into producing actual content for YouTube is still up in the air because, well, I'm trying to find a job, and unless I have if I do have a job, then I won't have time to do that, of course, obviously. But maybe I can find time in between schedules and everything. But it's something that I would like to jump back into. I'm not really comfortable with doing the pony reviews anymore. Episode upon episode is just not it's not economical. Just spend one video talking about one episode. I want to try something new, though. I want to try something different. not necessarily new since this is something that Linkar has been doing, but I want to try doing season by season of a show, just because it probably make things a lot more simpler, and I like to do a little more analysis on the actual show. And I want to do not just with My Little Pony. I want to do it with other shows too, with stuff that I've been doing, like stuff that I've been watching recently, and just shows that I've come to really like The Loud House, for example. That's a really good show on Nickelodeon right now, and it's probably the best thing next to SpongeBob at the moment. But with The Loud House, I'm probably not going to do like season long reviews. More like character studies. More like character studies on the actual characters, because the characters, like the show itself, it's more slice of life episodic show, more like a slice of life episodic show. So there isn't really much to talk about as far as like development goes, because usually everything is just self-contained, with a few exceptions. But the characters, however, have a lot to talk about. They give a lot to talk about. So I'd probably do just like small character studies on each one of the Loud sisters, on Lincoln Loud, on his friend Clyde, and just some of the other characters, maybe Ronnie Ann too. Because especially with Ronnie Ann, since it's rumored that her new family is going to be getting its own spinoff, so that actually brings in a lot of possibility for like a lot of stuff to talk about, especially with the family itself too. There's one member of the family that I noticed in the show, like one of the best things about the Loud House is that they focus more on character than identity, and that's important, because you got to have a great character before you have you plan their identity. And of course, obviously, pretty much everyone in Ronnie Ann's family is of Mexican descent, or at least of Hispanic descent, Latin American, this sort of thing. But the thing about Ronnie Ann's family is that there's one member who looked different than everybody else, and I couldn't figure out why. When I was watching the episode, I couldn't figure out why, and I actually had to look this up to figure this out. It turns out the character CJ has Down syndrome, which is actually very, very, very spectacular to me, because number one, I've got a cousin with Down syndrome, and number two, I had to actually look up that he had Down syndrome to know that he had Down syndrome. And that's kind of the magic with the Loud House. Like, even if you don't notice what the identity of the character is, you don't care, because they focus more on the character than the identity, and that's something that you need. And like what I'm saying with this show that's coming out, Los Casagrandes, is that there's definitely a lot of potential, especially with CJ, because maybe they'll go into an episode about accepting people with disabilities, and I don't know if the Loud House would go there, but considering that they have a gay couple on the show, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually go there with Los Casagrandes and actually have an episode talking about the R word and how that's not a good thing to say. Anyway, another show I want to focus on is Star vs. the Forces of Evil, which I've fallen in love with pretty much. I basically binge watched everything in the show on all the way up to episode 3, and I am waiting for the 4th season. And I really love the show. It's like it had a sloppy start at first, like trying to figure out its place, like if it's gonna be like either a the name escapes me. If it's going to be like an action adventure type thing, or if it's going to focus more on comedy, and it balances everything pretty well. And I think a lot of that has to do with Star herself. Just, she's a quirky character, but she knows when to be serious. And like I could go on, but that's all stuff that I'd rather focus on in the retrospective. So I'll try to write something with the show. Maybe go back and watch the show itself just to be sure. Like just be sure of pretty much everything. And from there, I'll just start taking notes and writing everything. And then eventually I'll get it all recorded on the mic there. And who knows, maybe I'll have something up for YouTube again. But in the meantime, if you're interested in watching anything else from me, don't worry. I am still making content, but I'm on a different platform right now. I'm actually live streaming gameplay on Twitch. So I'll leave a link in the description below for my Twitch channel. It's going to be the same name as my YouTube channel, so it should be easy to find even if I don't have the link on there. But right now I'm streaming Overwatch, like live streaming a gameplay of Overwatch, and I've done a lot of other games in the past. Like I did all the Kingdom Hearts games. I did The Last of Us, really great game. I did Lego Batman 3. I did Undertale. I actually did Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is probably one of my favorite stories. And right now I'm just doing Overwatch. Like it's more of a time killer right now with Overwatch. But if I do get another game for live streaming on Twitch, then I will play that game. I'll put Overwatch on a hold. Like I'll still play it every once in a while, but I'll give priority to whatever game I do next. And with next year's release of Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah, you'll definitely expect that to come. So thanks for sitting through this kind of like this kind of video. I didn't really script anything. I just wanted to talk about what I've been doing recently. And until next time, follow me on Twitch, link in the description below, and Gorillas Fans signing out.